What's up, guys? It's Showtimes Fight Forum. You already know what it is. It's your boy Showtime, where we talk all things fights. All right, so make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and all that good stuff. Today's discussion is going to be boxing discussion, bro. You know I love me some boxing. And it's going to be fight announcements. Or, fights that's in the memory. So we're going to talk about Canelo versus Triple G, the trilogy. We're talking about Terrence Crawford versus Spence. And we're going to talk a little bit of Jake Paul. Now, let's start off with the slight bit that, I don't really care about it because that's not who I want to see, but he's a name now, so let's go ahead and bring him up, and that's going to be Jake Paul. Jake Paul has announced that he is going to fight in the next coming months in August. The fighter is going to be TBD. Most people are hearing that it's going to be Tommy Fury, Tyson Fury's little brother, who's nowhere near as good. However, he is a quote-unquote boxer, but I think the people he's fought, the boxing record is like 10 and 105. So no one really cares. And at the end of the day, we know what Jake Paul is doing. He's gonna keep finding these favorable matchups just so he can keep making money and making a name off of him being a boxer. And he's not gonna take the real risk that we want him to take. And here's the thing, I don't want this man to fight somebody that's 10-0, 20-0, that's in boxing, because he's gonna get obliterated. It's not gonna be fun. However, I do want him to take a step up, bro. You fought Tyron Woodley. I give you credit, bro. You knocked him out. Good fight. It was a terrible fight. However, it was a good knockout. Great knockout. It's a highlight reel. Something that you're gonna forever be in history now with a knockout like that. You can show everybody. That was amazing. Now, Tommy Fury doesn't get me going. What does get me going is Anderson Silva. That's the fight everybody really wants you to have. That is the fight that still fits in your demographic. Somebody who's past their prime. Silva's almost 50. That's probably where it is. So now think about it, because age is probably the only benefit that you got. Maybe you're quicker. That's probably it. Size doesn't really exist anymore. I'm pretty sure like Silva's bigger. He's taller. He's fought at 205 before. Naturally, he weighs over 200 pounds. So, he's not a bulky guy, but he's a very lanky guy. I'm pretty sure he got you in reach. He got you in skill. He's he's been boxing longer than you. But it's a credible win. Yes, if you beat him, people are going to say he's old and washed. He is old and washed. But he's still good. And he's definitely better than you. He's more accomplished than you. In the boxing realm, he'd be Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Realistically, that's better than anybody you've ever fought. So you put Anderson Silva on your win column. Yes, people are still going to have these excuses that are valid, which is he is old. Bro, you beat the greatest of all time, man. You beat somebody who is actually somewhat of a boxer. That's impressive. That's a risk. So I think he should cash out. I think he should go ahead and fight him. If he beat Anderson Silva, his name's going to be catastrophic. No one can tell him anything. And then he probably should then fight a real boxer after that. But that's not what we're going to see. He's smart. He's going to take Tommy Fury, who's a smaller guy. Let's also mention Tommy Fury is very small. I think he fights at 170, 155? And Jake Paul says he can make it, but he will barely make that. He's a big guy. But yeah, anyways, who cares? Let's talk about the real fighters, which is the trilogy. Triple G versus Canelo Alvarez. That's a fight that I really wasn't interested in. I'm still not that interested in it, just because I think the way that these guys' careers going right now is not the same trajectory. Like Canelo is looking for all-time great status right now, and I don't think that beating Triple G in a trilogy really gains anything from that. I do think fighting with David Benavidez would do that. I think fighting with Charlo would do that. I'm not interested in you fighting Bivol. I think that it's going to happen. The fight's going to be the exact same that it was the first fight, but we'll see, because all-time fighters do adjust. But the fight wasn't that close. It really wasn't. Size really did play a factor. And if Bivol wants to go down to super middleweight, I'm definitely interested to see that, because he said he can make it, put up or shut up, take his belts. I'm definitely interested in that if that happens. But come on, yo. Triple G, that's just a money grab. Triple G is older. He's over 40, 41? He's past his prime. The second fight, in my opinion, was a clear decision by Canelo. It was a much better fight for Canelo than the first fight, and that was years ago. Now we're talking 5 years later. What do we think is going to happen right now? It's going to be bad. Canelo's going to wipe the floor with him, in my opinion. And who knows? Maybe Triple G will get geared up and we see the Triple G of 6 years ago come out, but I don't see that. I think the body shots are going to crush him, and I think it's going to be a stoppage. I don't think he's going to get dropped necessarily, but I think the referee is going to save him from getting hurt really badly. I'm excited, I guess, because we get to see Canelo again, and Canelo needs to get credited for being so active. We need all these fighters to be that active. I'm loving Shakur trying to fight again. Like, we need people, like these champions need to fight 3 times a year, 2 or 3 times. Canelo's trying to go for 4, or like, hey, like I like that, respect that too, but I think 2 to 3 is enough. But this once a year, bro, come on, yo. We don't want to see that. We want to see you active. The last fight that I really want to talk about, the fight that everybody should want, everybody should need, and like really hope happens, which is the pound for pound title fight, in my opinion. I think whoever wins this fight, especially decisively, is the pound for pound champion, and that is Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence. They are in negotiations. Apparently, a deal is there. Hearing murmurs that apparently Errol has signed, waiting on Terrence to sign, and we already know what it is. It's money rights. Simple and plain. Terrence Crawford wants to get paid his worth, and I respect that. However, at 147, he doesn't have much leeway to get. He's an undisputed champion at 140. No one cares. You don't sell out nowhere near as much as Errol. You only have 1 belt at 147. Your names aren't that impressive at 147. If we're talking strictly weight class, 147, Errol Spence has fought the dogs with the dogs. The only person he hasn't fought is you and Keith Thurman. He's fought everybody else. You're supposed to fight Pacquiao, but Pacquiao ended up losing to Ugas. So, you fought good guys, but you also have fought like some of his hand-me-downs. So, it's not necessarily you don't have much leverage, unfortunately. Granted, I think a 7-30 split is terrible. You deserve more. I think 60-40 is realistic. If they say 55-45, you need to jump on it, because you're not getting 50-50. If I'm Errol Spence, I will not give you 50-50. Why would I give you 50? I sell out. I'm fighting in Dallas Stadium, Jerry World. I'm out here fighting better names. I have 3 of the belts. Why would I? Because you're a pound for pound list, an opinion list. I don't care about the opinions. I care about the facts. These are the facts. I sell more. I have more belts. I also have better names in that division. I'm sorry. These are facts. You don't bring that much. You don't bring that to the negotiation. You don't bring pound for pound. Go ahead. All right, cool. That's not paying you. So yeah, at the end of the day, man, like, you don't have much much to negotiate. So I hope he signs it. They say it's gonna be in October. I already told you who I'm rolling with, Big Fish. But we'll see. Maybe I have a change of heart once we get closer to the fight. But it's a fight that we need to see. We have to see. And I cannot wait. People want to say that they're in their prime. I kind of would disagree. These guys are in their mid-30s. Yes, our prime nowadays lives a little longer because of medicine, but I think prime was probably 3 years ago when we wanted to see this fight. But it's still these guys that are just, in my opinion, getting out of their prime. I think these guys are just getting out. So it's still a fun fight. These fights deliver, so I want to see. These guys are action-packed. I don't see any chance that this fight doesn't live to what we want it to be. I cannot wait to see all these fights, more so the 2 fights that I mentioned, not necessarily the first fight, but it still will be a fun spectacle and laugh and all that good stuff. But I want to hear what you guys think, man. Like, I'm loving the fact that these guys are fighting each other now. People are really trying to be unified champions. We just seen it with Devin Haney. Tyson Fury's trying to be, he's saying he's retired, but I believe he's coming out to also unify. We just seen Charlo do it. Like, this, all these guys are really trying to be the best of the best, and we're getting out of this ducking era where nobody wants to fight. I can't wait for all these fights to go down. Like, let's get it. Promoters, get your head out your butt. Let's get these fights going. Follow me on all social medias at Showtime Sanders. And it's been real, man. Make sure y'all stay blessed.